I'll briefly talk about the framework that I have. So there are five steps, or there are five factors in that framework. One is right sector, second is right business, third is right management, fourth is right allocation, and fifth is right price. The first three, right sector, right business, and right management, are basically related to the selection part. Right allocation, right price relates to the allocation part, and both selection and allocation actually gives you the portfolio returns. So when I comes to the first part, the selection part, when I say right sectors, there basically I say that pharma and chemical are one of the best sector. So chemical, I would say more appropriately, because pharma, again, there are very few investable opportunities for me as such. So chemical is basically the sector which I feel is the right sector, because so when I say right sector, there are few criteria of right sector. One, so typically which I define as a structural sector, so where there is a runway of next 10, 15, 20 years. So chemical falls under that particular criteria. In 1990, 192, IT was one of those sectors which has a lot of tailwinds, and so that was one of the right sector that time. Today, even consumption will come under the right sector. So there are few criteria to define the right sector. So chemical is definitely one of those criteria which comes under the right sector. When I say right sector, then comes the second, right business. So when I look at, say, for example, let's say IT sector. Okay, so in IT sector, there will be always two type of businesses. One will be commodity business, other will be specialty business, and this is true for every sector. If it even if it's automobile sector, there will be commodity businesses and there are specialty businesses. So in automobile, for an example, Sona Comstar will be a specialty kind of business, or uh, Varroc Engineering, or maybe some other business which is more like an OEM or supplier of certain parts to, say, Maruti or Bajaj or Hero Motors. They will be more of a commodity businesses. When it comes to IT, I would say Wipro or TCS or Infosys, they will be more of a commodity businesses, whereas Tata Elxsi will falls under specialty business. When it comes to chemical, I would say something like Make Money Organics or GHCL or Tata Chemical. They will be like commodity chemicals or commodity businesses, whereas specialty side, I would say the specialty portfolio of Deepak Nitrate or Neogen Chemicals or Poshak or previous specialty. So these are specialty chemicals. So first is right sector, where I say chemical will be or IT will be a sector which falls under that. Then comes the right business, where I say that I typically follow the specialty side of it. Certain people follow the commodity side of it, because in commodity also you can make money if you are able to time the cycle right. So if you look at, say, IT, okay, if you are able to time the cycle right in IT, then you can make good money in IT as well. But specialty side, I typically follow only the specialty side, because I feel there you don't need to time the market, you don't need to time the cycle. You can stay invested for very long term, and the returns will be compounded every year. That's where basically I follow the specialty side of it. So in chemical also, I will follow the specialty side of it. If I look at pharma, as Sajal Bhai was asking, so in pharma side, I will not go for the commodity side of it, which is a generic space like Lupin, Cadila, Dr. Reddy, or Aurobindo, or Strides. So I will not follow the commodity side of it, but I will try to follow the specialty side of pharma, which will be something like Syngene or CDMO players, Suven Pharma or Laurus Lab. Uh, so I will try to look at the specialty side of the pharma. If I look at even in the pharma, so as you rightly said, there are thousands of molecule actually on pharma side. So you need to really see that which molecule and which geography or the which country the opportunity is. But more than that, so I don't get too much on the molecule level. I would rather say, in this case, I would rather say that let's pick and choose the promoter. So right sector, right business, and then third was right management. So this is what is important. So if you don't need to get and understand each and every molecule, you need to put your bet on the management. If the management is right and if the management is smart, then he will do that job for you. He will pick the right molecules, he will pick the right opportunities, and he will grow the business for you. So there, your job is actually little easier. So just to give an example, so as I always keep talking about Loris on Twitter, I'll talk the same stock here as well. So when I picked Loris Lab, one of the aspect was, as I said, right management. So I like Dr. Chhawa when I chose Loris Lab because the principle of R&D first. So he started the company with R&D and then he got into the manufacturing. And that's the philosophy which I liked about the management. And that's where basically I liked Loris Lab. Second is the way these people are able to scale up or these people are able to diversify. So initially it was an ARV company. So they were, so almost 100% was ARV business. Then they started diversifying into non-ARV businesses. Then they diversified into CDMO. Then they acquired a small biologics company. Maybe after 5 years, biologics itself will be 10% of the top line. So it's all about the management. So if the management is right and if it's smart, then he will try to choose the right opportunities and he will grow the business for you. So that's where, so that is what my strategy is. So I don't go and look for each and every molecule, because if management is not right, then even if the current molecules are good, in the future it's not guaranteed that so I was basically saying that instead of focusing on which molecules right now company is into, I will try to focus on the right management, because if the management is right, they will choose the right molecules for them and they will grow the business. Because if the management is not right, even if the molecule is right, it's not guaranteed that in the future they will continue with the right molecules. So that's where basically I'm more focused on the management than the right molecules.
That's